Okay, so for the last recipe, we wanted to create something again, sticking with that sort of spring into action, energy. We actually had quite a few requests to make little snack balls or little energy bites. So we're actually going to make one here, and we're using matcha. Has anyone used matcha before? Matcha is, pulverized green tea leaves. Yes. So we're using this. It's going to give it some really, really nice color. I love the flavor from it. There is caffeine in green tea leaves as well. So if you are looking to avoid caffeine, you don't have to add this in. But this will these will make these a little more energy inducing, let's say. But if you don't want the caffeine, don't add this. You can add just the nuts and seeds and it comes out fantastic. So to start off, we're adding 2 cups of any nuts or seeds. So we're making this as flexible as possible. We're using cashews and sunflower seeds. You can use almonds and pumpkin seeds, whatever you want, or just hazelnuts. Yeah. Pecans. So we're adding about 2 cups worth into our food processor. This is going to make a slightly bigger batch as well. And we're going to let it pulse. This part gets a little noisy. It's plugged in, thank you. I always forget that. So, as it's breaking down, if anything sticks to the sides or the top, we just want to loosen it up a little bit. And then we can keep pulsing. I'm going to try to talk over this. So as the nuts and the seeds will break down further, the natural oils in the seeds and nuts are going to start to come out. And it's going to soften. And the longer you let it go, it'll actually turn into a nut butter. So if you ever wanted to make your own peanut butter, your own almond butter, your own cashew butter, this is exactly how you do it. You don't have to add anything else. It's just the work of the machine and the actual nuts and seeds themselves. With some food processors, it might take a little longer, and it'll sort of get to that point where you're going to get absolutely frustrated and you're going to be tempted to start over. Do not start over. Just keep going, and it'll turn into that sort of peanut butter consistency. You can already see, so at this stage here, it's broken down even more and it's starting to clump together. So the oils are actually starting to come out. It's actually becoming extremely fragrant. I don't know if it's hit the first front row yet. No, it might get there. But the oils are starting to come out and it's starting to clump up into larger bits here. If I let this continue going for probably another 2-3 minutes, it's going to get really creamy, like a peanut butter. I don't want it to get that far though for this. So I'm stopping here just until it clumps up into these little chunks. At that point, I'm going to add our green tea matcha, and we're going to use about 2 teaspoons here. Don't need much. And just pulse it again just so it incorporates with the cashews. All right. And then we can add the rest of our ingredients. So we're adding a little bit of unsweetened shredded coconut. That's going to go in. We're going to add some dried fruit. So I have some dates, some cranberries. This has a little bit of dried blueberries too. Any dried fruit, it's going to add a little bit of sweetness. It's also going to help to bind everything together. You can just do all dates. Dates are pretty tasty, but they're sticky, yeah, but we actually want that stickiness from the dried fruit. So that's going to go through. We're going to add a tablespoon of coconut oil as well. And this is just, again, it's going to help to bring everything together. And I think that's it. I can't even remember my own recipe, but that's probably it. The last thing that we're going to add, we'll add in a second. So we're going to pulse this through again, just until everything comes together and combines. So once it starts to form almost a ball of dough, you can see it sort of clump together and it's combined. And I added no moisture at all, but you can actually see it's starting. So that coconut oil is helping to moisten it up a little bit. The nuts as well are starting to get really moist, and that's pretty much what we're looking for there. So at that point, if I wanted to add, if we wanted to get a little crazy and add some dark chocolate, we can do that now. These are actually cocoa nibs. Have you ever heard of cocoa nibs before? So they're actually the actual cocoa bean itself that's just been cracked into smaller little pieces. There's no sugar added to this, so if you're a chocolate lover, you might like or dislike this. It's pretty bitter, it's very strong, but we're gonna add just a little bit here, and this is optional. Yeah, you can add whatever you want, absolutely. Yes, question? Yes, so great question. So oatmeal, when I added the coconut is actually helping to, because it's pretty fibrous, it's gonna help to absorb any excess moisture. The oats will do the exact same thing. So if you find that your end product, because maybe you over churned the nuts, if you find that the end product is too wet, you can even add a little bit at a time more oats at that point, and it'll absorb any of that excess moisture and it'll come together a little bit better. Yeah, oats, yeah, great addition.
So would it be the same, half a cup?
I would go a little bit at a time until you feel like it's a little drier. Yeah. But you can start with half a cup. Okay, done. So that's it. Pretty quick, pretty easy. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to eat that entire thing. No, that's probably not a good idea. But what we're going to do is just transfer this mixture into a bowl. And you can definitely double the batch. These freeze really, really well. So mixture in our bowl. If you have the time, you can let this chill in the refrigerator for even like 30 minutes. It'll firm up. It'll just be a little bit easier to roll. Or if you have two helpers and you don't mind that they get messy, then you can let them do it. And we're going to roll them, Lucas and Tamara, if you don't mind, into about 2 tablespoons at a time. I know that the big thing now is the balls, the energy balls. We're a little different, so we made patties. So you can turn them into a ball, flatten them into a patty, and then you can throw them in coconut or cocoa powder. We actually blended our coconut with more green tea matcha just to get that green color. And that's pretty much what you're looking for. You can ferment into whatever shape you want. Dust them off. And these can sit in the refrigerator for up to a week. Fantastic little bite. You know, you get some of your nuts and your dried fruit. I pop them in the freezer, and they're good in the freezer for up to 1 to 2 months. And they're delicious just like that as well. So we did a few ahead of time just so you can see. And this is sort of what they look like. So super vibrant green and the perfect little bite size. And yeah, that's our matcha cashew energy bites. I think we called them. Fantastic.